Alright, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here, and I am back. It is time for another Starcraft 2 1 vs 1 replay cast. I'm excited. We're starting to develop a bit of a trend here on the channel in which the first few days of the week after Africa World is VODs, but then usually the week after is just the opportunity for me to get to do these 1v1 tournament casts again, which is exciting. Yeah, so today we've got something a little bit different. I mean, the players are two guys that I've cast a fair bit. However, it's on one of the Team Liquid map contest maps, so it's a bit of a different map, and it might be one of the only times you'll see this map if it hasn't actually made it into the actual map pool or a future map pool. So I thought that would just be a reason to check out this cool map or whatever. It's from Wardy's replay pack. He releases a lot of them, which is great. And so yeah, in the bottom right hand side of the map we have got XCOM's Elazer, or Ago Elazer. I guess Ago's sponsored by XCOM. Don't quote me on that 100%. And in the top left hand side of the map, it is MKer's souL. So we have got ourselves a good old TVZ here. I'm gonna admit, I'm honestly just such a souL fanboy. That's the reason why I chose this game. It's gonna happen one of these days. He's gonna have his big result, and I'll be standing from the rooftop shouting, "I knew it! I knew it!" But until that day comes, we're gonna cast him taking on someone who's quite a Zerg Titan, Elazer. He's one of the best foreigners in StarCraft 2. He's proven himself again and again, whether you want to try and doubt him or not. And so he's just, he stands on the back of his accomplishments. However, Elazer has, I can't remember what match it was. It was one that was recent. Elazer showed a very lackluster Terran versus Zerg matchup. So I'm curious if he's changing that up or if that was just like a one-time thing. And so I thought, okay, this should be a fun match to cast between the two. souL, on the other hand, he's known to go a bit late game, known to complain about balance here and there, but ultimately a fun player to watch. It looks like this game he's going to go for I was going to say a quick third CC, but maybe that's not the case. Maybe we'll see that later on if it's still just on the one gas, but that could change up. Okay, so Elazer has an overlord to the north here, just waiting to dive on into scout most likely. And yeah, everything pretty darn normal here so far. Zerg gonna just do Zerg things, as regardless of whether it's new maps or whatever, a Zerg is probably just gonna play Zerg, that defensive style that has got some players so far, so many tournament wins and whatnot. And so yeah, we take a look. Just a natural CC finishing up for souL. Starport is on the way here. And let's take a look here. Let's try and hit 28 likes on this video, ladies and gentlemen, since Elazer is at 28 drones at the minute. If we can do that just on a non-alpha star cast, that would be great. Shows that you guys do indeed want to see more of these. The Hellions for souL try and run up this ramp. The Reaper meets its end, but wow, souL's actually just diving on in here. He says, surprise, sometimes Zergs just like to cut corners, and this time this Zerg is going to be getting barbecued up here. We've seen 4 drones go down. So far 4 drones, a very modest amount, but I imagine that's going to be at least a few more. Make that 5, 8, maybe one more. Looks like, yes, one more drone goes down. So souL gets on in, gets 9 drones with his Hellions. There's actually no Queen in the main, so it could be a couple more. Yeah, 2 more drones going down to those Hellions. The Queen was out of position there. And now we take a look behind this. souL, he's going into a fusion core, so going to be a battle cruiser rush behind this play. So a nice bit of early damage getting done by souL. When at first he only got like 4 drones or so, that was a bit questionable. But as that count went up and up, it became much better that he dove those Hellions into his opponent's base. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I know you're a fan of the 1v1 StarCraft 2, of the Alpha Star StarCraft 2, and a lot of you guys like that last 2v2 tournament that we did on Africa. So just a small update there. We are going to be doing another Pro 2v2 tournament coming soon. It's going to be on the 7th. The exact time isn't pinned down yet, but it's going to be another fun 2v2 tournament. That'll make its way to the channel at some point. as the Afrika World VODs, and I thought, yeah, that would be something fun to go over once more. In the meantime, we have got ourselves a Roach Warren on the way for Elazer. Hellions are going to dive on in here for souL once again, though, so he's actually just diving in, just trying to get more drones, and he actually gets himself 6. Of course, these Hellions are probably forfeit between the Lings and the Queens, so that was a bit questionable for souL committing his Hellions in like that. This one Hellion not even going to escape. So that was basically 6 drones for 6 Hellions, which is... it's something. I mean, it's not great for souL, not amazing, not terrible for Elazer. It's one of those things. It is what it is. I'd say it's more justifiable based on the fact that Elazer had already taken some damage. As, like, if he just did that at this point in the game and he hadn't got the first Hellion run by, that would be much worse. But seeing as how Elazer was already lower on drones, he's also managed to keep him even lower. And now this battlecruiser manages to get 5 more drones here as it teleports on in. It flies across that 3rd base, and then it's just going to drive on out of there. The classic battlecruiser skin for souL. Now, of course, Elazer, being Elazer, a Zerg drone king, is firing up 20 drones. 10 of them just finished, and now he's going to be making another 10. So he's actually going to be in the 60s for a drone count, so a very, very healthy amount already. Despite taking pretty significant losses this game, 22 drones have gone down, and yet 6.5 minutes in the game, he's already cruising towards 70 drones, which is just very impressive. Now, the thing to be concerned about for Elazer is the amount of drones that he's had to make here is going to affect his unit production. He's also going to be committing to Aspire as well. Probably could just be for Corruptors, could potentially be for Mutas. That remains yet to be seen. However, the fact of the matter is that Elazer does only have 10 Lings at the minute. While souL is powering up, he's going to be getting his bio production going. And there we go. The first drop is going to be moving out for the Terran player. This battlecruiser even boldly going to be moving in once again, trying to find some more damage. It does have Yamato cannon. Oh, I guess souL dropped a mule to heal it up, so it didn't have to go all the way home. But it actually does just teleport into the main base. I was going to say right home. No, it teleports right to the main base. Now, the problem is for souL, there's already 3 queens in position there. Going to chase this battlecruiser away. Fortunately, it at least does escape, all the while the drop going on towards the 4th base, cleaning up some creep tumors. If souL can get that last tumor, that would be nice. He gets it. He gets the Marines out. The battlecruiser out. So the second round of that BC attack didn't get too much done. However, I mean, souL is just starting. He's going to be mounting more and more pressure onto his opponent. And if we do take a look here, Elazer is making Hydras now, which is nice for Elazer. However, he still is very, very low on the army supply. He's made a few Lings, only 28. He's going to have some Hydras behind them to back them up now. But it's not like his army is near full strength. If he hangs on another minute or two, then his army is really going to power up. For now, souL is only getting creep tumors, and honestly, that's fine by Elazer. He just sends the queens in after souL does the drop. He's going to go ahead and just replant those creep tumors, and all is well. It's like that drop never happened. Once again, souL drops another mule to repair this battlecruiser. He wants to try and go in with that again, which is rather bold. Committing 2 mules to repair the battlecruisers. Now, of course, the drops are going to continue on here for souL as he's loaded up another few medivacs. He's starting tank production. He's getting up his additional barracks here, getting up a 4th command center. Even this is why I love to watch souL play. He's a Terran who's not afraid to throw up a 4th command center. But we do take a look at this. The battlecruiser going into the main base once again. It does have a teleport to get out, but it's not going to get a lot of damage done. And at this point, I do question why souL committed to a mule to repair this when it could have just gone home, which honestly isn't too far. Now, that being said, though, the game is still progressing naturally here. Elazer hasn't taken any damage, or any significant damage, which is generally considered good for Zerg. souL has to load these Marines up into these medivacs to try and boost them away. However, there's Hydras underneath them, so these medivacs are going to want to be careful. They're going to have to try and find themselves a corner to hide in. However, I don't think there's simply that much room, so these guys are kind of trapped here. That being said, though, souL going in for a battlecruiser. Gets a battlecruiser in there to try and harass once again. But that BC does end up dying. And now the game really is just all about souL's bio production, it would seem. He's getting up his 4th base, so he's on a pretty good economy for a Terran. However, honestly, Terrans, they prefer themselves to be on a lower economy as long as the Zerg is on a lower economy, for the most part. souL does actually kill off that 5th base of Elazer, though. That was nice, running by and targeting that, all the while 2 Liberators moving into the main base of Elazer. However, it's Spore City here, already to intercept this. The Spores for Elazer already doing so much work. This queued up Liberator is just going to fly right over that Spore, so it's not going to get too much done. All the while a drop to the south, souL target firing Banelings down. Liberator at the natural base of Elazer is going to start killing off some drones here. And this is actually going to get 6 drones, 7 maybe? Yeah, 7 drones, so not a bad amount for souL. Definitely could have been better, but at least he's getting something. And he's even getting up a 5th command center here, so souL is just willing to go for more and more economy here, which is always great to see in a game of StarCraft 2, because Terrans at times are afraid to go in the late game, when in reality I think it's most people's favorite kind of matchup to watch. Not just like, say, a 2-base or 3-base timing, but when a Terran is really expanding, taking all the bases, going toe-to-toe with a Zerg in the late game. And this is why I love to watch souL. He does this quite frequently. He's getting up a Ghost Academy, getting up a couple of command centers. We even see starports on the way, so he really is just embracing the full-on late game. All the while, Elazer, though, oh boy, planning a big counterattack. Look at this, though. Widowmine's going to burrow next to all these Lings and Banelings as they actually found them out. And oh my gosh, it hits all those morphing Banelings. That was nuts. The Drilling Clawed Widowmines. Oh, that was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful there. souL now coming in. He wants to defend these Widowmines. He's going to force what was going to be a counterattack or just a bit of harassment from Elazer away. So Elazer has to back off a little bit. And we actually will just see the game progress from here on still. The Widowmine's getting loaded up into the Medivac once again. It seems that those Widowmine drops becoming more and more common versus Zerg. I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't hate it, but I am not a huge fan. We do take a look at this, though. All of a sudden, in come the Banelings. They're going to try and hit these supply depots. The Siege Tank pops the first one, but there's simply too much Zerg here crashing forward. souL's going to have to run the SCVs away if he wants to save them, but his Marines actually do show up in time in order to prevent the SCVs from all going down. The Marines are now coming in to help out, and the base gets resecured. However, that being said, the 5th base under fire as well. And of course, it's not mutually exclusive, though, as a drop is in the top right-hand side here, as souL is potentially going to be picking off one of Elazer's bases. If those Marines target down that hatchery, that would be good for souL. However, not paying attention to the drop there to get that right click off. souL's attempt at a 5th base was delayed, and you do not want to be delayed too long in that sort of situation, as once you're delayed that much, it really does just become very bad. And speaking of very bad here for souL, there's simply burrowed Banelings just hanging out Elazer, using that very effective upgrade in order to give himself vision and to potentially get some big hits. Big hits potentially on souL's army, as souL just has a lot of Marines that are very vulnerable to Widowmines. souL is trying to attack into the late game, so we've seen his pressure out on the map drop quite rapidly compared to a usual Terran. And oh, take a look at this. Elazer's actually just made a ton of Lurkers here. I did not even see this. However, fortunately for souL, Lurkers can't shoot up, so the Liberators will end up repelling them. Widowmine's even going off on the Lurkers, which is nice for souL. He's cleaning up some of these Lurkers, and they're not super cheap. They're not ridiculously expensive, but they're not cheap either. These Liberators will try and clean up these Lurkers. souL's going to need a scan to ensure that that does happen. The Lurkers are actually just going to try and go up this ramp, and they actually burrow so quickly. And for an army of souL that is actually mainly just Marines, this could be very disastrous if he has to run into some Lurkers. And oh no, he's going to do that on the low ground. He needs to scan. He's actually going to lose so much of his bio there, pretty much all of his bio going down. It's essentially just the Liberators in the air for souL, which are holding off this tide of Lurkers, and this is actually just looking very good here for Elazer. As a command center goes down, another gets canceled. The Lurkers are just everywhere, forcing out scans for souL. More Hydras being made for Elazer because he knows he just needs to contend with the Liberators. As souL, he simply didn't have enough Marauders. He had a big ball of Marines, and he got punished for it. He's not having success at taking his 4th base right now, as he's been forced off his 4th. He's been forced off his potential 5th or replacement 4th. Looks like Elazer did commit a fair bit into all these Liberators, so we'll lose a lot of Lurkers here, which is nice at least for souL. However, still not a great situation. The amount of pressure that he's been taking, he's going to lose another command center here. souL was reaching the stage in which he was maybe going to be a Terran with that strong economy, but that's simply not going to be the case anymore. He's just been battered, bruised. He's down to 51 SCVs. He doesn't really have many mining bases. Elazer's been given so much time to power and tech up. Of course, Elazer did commit a lot of resources to that attack, but oh, there's even burrowed banelings there, just hiding out behind the army of souL. Elazer's probably just waiting for his moment, and oh, take a look at that. 15 SCVs go down as mass banelings crash into souL's 4th base. I was getting excited for souL in this game here, but this is looking actually very, very tough for the Terran. Now, with Medivac supporting the bio on the ground and a lot of Liberators in the sky, this is actually looking like a pretty decent fight for souL. Just the sheer number of Liberators is actually really shredding up the Zerg army, so that was quite a good engagement there for souL. However, he is effectively just all in at this stage in the game. He's not really mining anywhere else. He's down to just 3 bases, as opposed to like the 5 or 6 command centers at least that he had before. So souL really is just all in on this attack. It would seem he needs to get some very significant damage to his Zerg. And in this stage of the game, it really is just about the kill. Can't really argue about that. Spore Crawler trying to kill off some of the Liberators as they charge forward. They will get cleaned on up though, and souL actually is going to be able to keep this attack going. If souL can win this game, I'd say that's almost a miracle, because this is quite a well-established Zerg. However, Elazer, he seemed to overcommit a little bit too much to that attack, and this has given souL a chance to counterattack. There are multiple bases of Elazer under assault. souL is cleaning up one of these bases. He's definitely going to get this other base here, it would seem. Liberators and drones, or Liberators killing off lots of drones here. And it seems that souL did just get a fair bit of damage done to Elazer, and while Elazer had a good economy, he didn't have a great one before this. So this is actually kind of evening things up. I mean, it's going to be 3 base against 3 base, both players very low on supply, and suddenly we've entered into the territory of a very, very scrappy game here. souL's sending in a Liberator in order to try and free up this 3rd base so he can keep his mining going. He's actually going to load up into his Medivacs. He probably wants to abandon that plan, but he's going to stick to it. Lots of Medivacs want to unload into the main base of his opponent. Liberator's also going to try and siege up the ramp. This is a very bold move to do against Zerg, who has AoE, who has Banelings, Lurkers. It's just, the bio is so volatile in this situation. To really put it all on a drop like this, which I'd say souL is doing, is quite risky. His bio, his Liberators are going to trade out as well as they can. So far, this attack is still succeeding, but look at this. souL hasn't been able to take another base yet. He's effectively mined out completely, just working with the units that he has. He's got to load up into his Medivacs. He's going to get pushed away. And he's just going to have to go all the way home, and he really needs to free up this base. Looks like he will. No, the Lurker actually just moves. Lurker's such a pain, man. Having to use a scan just makes Liberators too slow at cleaning them up. He's going to have to use another to clean up this Liberator. Looks like he will at least be able to start mining from this base as long as he repairs it. But now Elazer, who survived that attack, is out on the map. He's got Lurkers, which are quite effective in a low econ situation like this. He's got Hydras as well. He is behind on upgrades though. souL has 3-3 while Elazer has +3 attack. souL, you gotta repair that base, by the way. souL, oh please repair that base. souL, you gotta do it. He's so busy focused on this fight. He needs to repair this base. If this base burns down, this is effectively lights out, and oh my gosh, souL waiting till that base was on less than 100 HP there, I'd say. Wow, that would have actually just been game over if he lost that base. For now, this souL does have a chance, but he has to deal with the Lurkers somehow. He's making as many Liberators as he can at this point in the game. It's still going to be very, very tough for him, that I feel. One of the Lurkers gets picked off by souL's bio, but souL does take significant number of losses there. He's just waiting for his additional Liberators to come out here to help out, as Elazer is on a low econ too. The Lurkers, though, they want to inch forward. Once souL has 1 or 2 more Liberators, he will be able to repel his opponent. Elazer actually just diving into this Liberator here. He does get repelled, though, by souL for now. All the while, Elazer is trying to get up his 4th base back at home. He's making another spawning pool as he lost that. He can't make any lings or anything right now. souL is currently just skirmishing, dancing on this base. A Liberator did come forward. Elazer tries to pick it off, but isn't successful. Is there any more Liberators coming out for souL? There we go. Even as soon as he gets 2, he'll be able to do the leapfrog kind of thing, which will help him out immensely. Elazer, though, now he looks like he's trying to come in and hit another location. Lurker gets misrallied. Every unit matters in a situation like this. Liberators need to get sieged up. souL just takes so much damage from these lurkers. Even with their +2 attack, they really shred into the bio. souL scans, picks off one of the lurkers there, but then again, that is a scan used, which is not money in the bank for souL. Elazer all the while keeping the pressure on his opponent. He's up to 4 bases once again. They are 4 mainly mined out bases, but he's going to be getting up a critical 5th base. Now souL, though, says, right, I ain't got any time to waste. He's going to move out on the map to go for an attack. He's almost mined out at his 3rd base location, but he has floated over his main to a 4th. In a sense, so both these guys, for the minute, pretty equal on the economy. But souL, I don't know if he has enough units to actually take this game here. Usually in Scrappy situations like this, I would say that it usually goes towards the Zerg. However, souL is fighting as hard as he can, but look at this, Elazer making a Viper a great decision. The 1 parasitic bomb, or really anything, will help him out. Ling run by on this base here. souL does a good job microing the SCVs in order to repel it, and that was a good move by Elazer, though, as it simply pulled the Terran back. Looks like there's another lurker going to be heading towards the 4th base as well. Man, keep in mind that souL had this base, he had extra orbitals and everything at the start of this game, but now he's simply got like nothing in the form of economy. Viper moving forward for Elazer, going to abduct one of the Liberators. souL tries to pull it back, but can't in time. Another abduct going to be going down, and this is where the value is going to start for Elazer. He managed to squeeze out 4 Vipers. Another Liberator gets abducted, and all of a sudden, souL is only down to 3 Liberators. So Elazer's going to build up more energy super quick. souL suddenly says, right, I got to take the fight now, but it looks like this game is going to start going Elazer's way, as souL simply can't compete with the Viper Lurker composition. He just can't attack into the lurkers. He's going to try, but I think that's going to be Elazer's game, and it looks like it is. GG gets called. Elazer plays a very solid match there. And yeah, well played by Elazer, just playing that Scrappy situation well. He brought down souL's economy. souL was a minute or 2 away from becoming an economic monster, and Elazer just went in and attacked. Great use of the lurkers against Terran. Makes me worried to ladder that I'll run into a ton of lurkers or whatever. But yeah, thanks so much to everyone for tuning into this match. This has been LaughNgamez. For those of you that aren't already, hop in the Discord. I added a replay submission section. We also have some fun in that channel, or in that server. Press that like button if you haven't, subscribe if you're new to the channel and you made it all the way to the end of the video, and of course, big thanks to those of you that support the channel via the memberships or the subscriptions, basically whatever is on, it's basically akin to what Twitch has for the YouTube channel. But I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.